So, today is our heart to heart call, and it is really one of my favorite calls because it's not like a typical presentation. Rather, it is people, real life people, friends and family that is going to be sharing their testimonies, their stories, and their experiences on our products and maybe the business. And I just love that. I think that's what really makes this business so fulfilling for me. And so I love that I get to host this call. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be here. Obviously, I'm nervous. I hate public speaking, but I'm so excited to have my friends and family share today. These four people for real. Like when I looked at the list, I was like, these are probably the most on the top of my list of the people that are most giving, caring, bright souls that are just full of love. And I get emotional, but I'm so excited that they get to share their stories with you. So we're going to talk about, their experiences and everything like that. But before we kind of get into that, I just wanted to lay a little bit of like framework, a little groundwork so you guys can understand what we're talking about today, because they're going to have different testimonies and it's all going to be because of the same products that they're taking. And you might be wondering in the back of your mind, like, what? How can this magic pill do all of these things and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And if you're skeptical, like I am, I was, you will be questioning, what's the deal? How come, So just to kind of explain a little bit about our products and our company, our company is called LifeVantage, and we are a biotech company. We are a nutrigenomics company that's really on the forefront of nutrigenomics, which is nutrition for your genes. We have figured out a way that we can upregulate the good genes in our bodies with natural compounds, and it's really incredible. And so kind of back up. This company is publicly traded, and that's what I think makes me so proud, and a lot of us, knowing that we are traded on the NASDAQ, that you can investigate our company and see that this is the real deal. What I'm saying to you guys, you can look up and do your own research. So it's really amazing. So the first product that came out that really was a breakthrough that put our company on the map is called Protandim NRF2. Every single person on this call today that's going to be speaking is on that product and then some. So that's like the main thing. And Protandim NRF2, basically what it does, it lowers oxidative stress in our bodies by 40% in 30 days. Now, you guys might be thinking, what the heck did she just say, right? I didn't know really what that meant either. So stay with me. Oxidative stress is tied to pretty much every single disease process you can think of. There's over 200 of these crazy diseases out there, and oxidative stress, inflammation of our cells, all of that gunk, that is the leading cause, that is the precursor to every single disease you can think of. Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, you name it, it's linked. And so I just wanted to share a quick screen with you guys, a slide, so you can see when I saw this visual, it really made sense to me. I was like, whoa, that's so heavy. So this is what free radical damage and oxidative stress, that when it overwhelms our body, this is what happens. These are the different things that can happen. And so what's incredible is that our product is the only product on the planet that can reduce this in our bodies by 40% in the first 30 days. And that's proven 100% of the time. It happens to every single human. And there's so many peer-reviewed studies done on this. And these studies were done by people like Harvard, Texas Tech, American Heart Association, National Institute of Aging. So this is really incredible stuff. And what I think is so crazy is that this discovery came out, I think, back in 2003. So it's been over 15 years. Like, think about it. In 15 years, when this first came to, it's been 15 years. Nobody else has figured out a way to do the same thing. Nobody else, no scientist, doctor, brilliant mind in the world has been able to figure out how to do the same thing and to achieve the same results. Even with pharmaceuticals, they haven't figured it out. And we have done it with 5 herbs and natural compounds. So that just absolutely blows my mind. So just now you understand kind of what we're talking about here. I just want to take it over and pass it over onto our first speaker. Like I said, these people that we have on today are seriously the most giving people. And Juliette, I just love you so much. She is amazing. She's been a nurse, an ER nurse for over 20 years. She's a flight attendant as well. She's a mama of 4, and she loves supporting her daughter's vegan food cafe. And she's just an amazing person. So go ahead, Juliette. You can unmute yourself and just share your amazing story.
Okay. Oh, Nina, thank you for that amazing introduction. Aloha, everyone. I'm Juliette Murphey, and I'm delighted to be here today to share with you my testimony. I'm a mother of 4 wonderful children, and I've earned my living as an ER nurse and a flight attendant. And working in the emergency room, I've been exposed to people dealing with immeasurable pain, suffering, and trauma. And from gunshot wounds to stabbings to car crashes and cardiac arrests, as nurses, we're traumatized by our working environment, and we don't even realize it. For years, I was so busy selflessly taking care of others that I put my own self-care on the back burner. Self-care is our responsibility, and it's actually included in our nursing code of ethics. If we can't care for ourselves, then we can't care for others. However, nurses tend to neglect taking care of themselves, and I'm one of those nurses. It's a natural instinct as a caregiver, care provider, to just keep going, just keep pushing through. But during this unprecedented time of crisis, especially in this pandemic, we must change our mindset. So what is self-care? Self-care is any deliberate activity that we do to provide for our physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. It's important for all human beings in any line of work and in life to practice self-care. I haven't gone to my yearly annual health screenings for at least 10 years. I didn't even have a primary medical doctor, but what I did have was my OBGYN doctor that I love and trust. And he obviously knew that I didn't have a primary medical doctor. So he decided last year, you know what, let's run a lipid panel on you. And what that entailed was checking or drawing my blood, analyzing my blood work, and checking for my cholesterol level. So it was right there and then that I found out that I have a high cholesterol level. And it was probably due to all those pizza parties that were being held in the nurses' lounge, but it scared me enough that I was just really scared. Like, I had no idea I had a high cholesterol level. And so high cholesterol level is associated with really serious illnesses and diseases. My OBGYN doctor was hinting, Juliette, I'm your vagina doctor, and you really got to go see a primary medical doctor. And so I literally took his advice to heart. And for the first time in over 15 years, I went to go see a doctor other than my OBGYN. I was determined more than ever to decrease my cholesterol level and do it naturally. So I continued with my exercise regimen. I started taking the Protandim Tri-Synergizer daily, well over 1 month. And so when it was time for me to go back to have my cholesterol level rechecked, I was blown away to find that my cholesterol level had dropped by 80 points, 80. I was mind blown. And my cholesterol level is now back down to normal limits. Another testimony I'd like to share with you is my uncle. He's a physicist by trade and has been diagnosed and is a survivor of a major illness that affects his liver. I was extremely interested to see what our products could do for him. So I introduced the Protandim Tri-Synergizer, and within a few weeks, he validated how amazing the supplement was. And it gave him a feeling of warmth, awakening, and cleansing of toxins. Being a scientist himself, he's very familiar with the science of the body's innate protective pathways, and he could attest how it was positively interacting with him internally. He's thriving, stable, and doing well, and is incredibly grateful that I introduced Protandim to him. He also was very happy to report that there were no new cell growth issues on his most recent scan. We're all nurturers, and nurturers need nurturing. We all must take the time to pause for self-care and replenish and do the same duties with compassion and empathy that we owe to others. We also owe to ourselves. So love starts within. You got to love yourself first before you can love others. And thank you kindly for allowing me to share my testimony. Take care of yourselves and find time to rejoice and do something that you all really, really enjoy for your self-care. And now I'll pass it back to Nina. Mahalo.
Oh my gosh, Juliette, thank you so much for sharing that. Wow, it's all these stories like this that just keep blowing my mind over and over and over. And you're right, it is self-care. All the little things that we do, right? It's all that. And we got to take care of ourselves first before we can pour into others. And just thank you so much. You're such a beautiful person. So next, I want to pass it on over to my cousin Lani. She has been on this journey with me since almost the beginning, right, girl? And take it away, sister. Oh my gosh, she is just, you can tell them everything about just all.
Okay, thank you so much. And Juliette, I really that really hit me what you said, because I am also a private nurse and caregiver, and that is so true, that you don't take care of yourself, but you're pouring out into everybody else. And I think my little sister, Liana Wright, who's also in Protandum, saw that in me, because she was trying to get me to listen, just listen, to what Protandum was all about. And I was like so closed off to it. But this is someone who loves me, like genuinely, really, truly loves me, like how we all are to each other, I feel. I mean, I love her so much. I wanted her to be my baby. She's my little sister. And I told her I was actually her mom when she was 3. But anyway, she loves me so much. And she saw that I was going through a lot of ailments, like a lot. And I would not give her the time. This is my sister. And I would tell her, Liana, please, I am on 9 pharmaceutical meds. I have acute coronary artery disease. I have diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I have it all. I have a stent put in my heart. And so she saw this and wanted to help me, and I would not give her the time of day. Meanwhile, I have 3 kids and 4 grandsons. And one of my grandsons was having a really, really hard time focusing in school. He was failing 6th grade. And my daughter was like, Mom, I have to give him the pharmaceutical meds. Maybe it'll help. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead, try it, because I'm on 9 pharmaceutical meds. Why am I on all these pharmaceuticals? And I can take it if the doctor tells me to take it, but I'm not going to hear about Protandim. It blows my mind that I would not even give it a chance. So my daughter tries the pharmaceuticals. My grandson is like a zombie. He's not the same. He is just tired. He's getting sick, like physically throwing up. So then Summer and Nina start talking to my daughter, Brittany, and said, you know what, just try this. Just try it for him and just see. And they gave it to her. And so she's trying it. It's about 3 weeks. And she gets a phone call that he's no longer failing. He's actually on honor roll. And so she called me and told me that. And I was like, oh my goodness, Britt, are you serious? And so then I said, you know what? Okay, let's see, a little while longer. I don't know why it took me so long. Then Nina, well, I was talking with Nina and I'm like, okay, let's see. Couple weeks later, he's still on honor roll. Then it comes time for him to take the test for Kamehameha schools, which he's in Hawaiian.
Yes.
We were worried about that. He passed the test with flying colors. He was one out of 2 boys on our side of the island that made it into Kamehameha. And he is still on honor roll today, and he's in 8th grade now. So when I saw that, I could have kicked myself, because then I really, really, really wanted it. I don't know why I waited. I'm just irritated with myself that I waited. So during my 50th birthday, I wanted to go to Disneyland with my whole family, my kids, my grandkids, everyone. But at that time, I couldn't walk at 50 years old, I couldn't walk from the sofa to my kitchen without having chest pain, like really bad chest pain. And I couldn't breathe really well. So I listened to Nina, listened to Liana, because when I was in Disneyland, I had to be on a scooter, and I'm 50 years old. And I'm the only one that's on a scooter. And I couldn't do certain things with my grandsons, like go in this jungle thing. They wanted me to go with them, and I couldn't go. But it's my 50th birthday, and I'm on like a scooter. And so anyway, sorry. So I started taking Protandim. And things just started to change. I was on 9 pharmaceutical meds, and now I'm on 3 pharmaceutical meds. And I couldn't exercise before because I would have that pain. I couldn't do a lot of things, like play with my grandkids and do stuff like that. And I also, was heavy, so I needed to lose weight. And so I started taking it, and then I started exercising. And during the pandemic, I've lost about 45 pounds. I have been playing, I can play like baseball and dodgeball and everything with my grandkids, which means everything to me. And I just wish that I would have listened to my sister a lot earlier. And another testimony really quick, my husband, who had issues with just internal bleeding, every year he would end up in the hospital for in ICU and have like 6-7 blood transfusions. And so he wasn't too keen on the idea of taking Protandim either. And so he said, I'm just going to take it because you want me to take it. I'm like, okay. And so then for the past 5 years, he was taking tests. He had to stay on it because his hemoglobin would go very low. And he was always at like a 9. And for men, 14 to 17 is normal. So he starts taking Protandim the first year. He doesn't go in the hospital that year. That is the only thing he was doing different, was taking Protandim. That's the only thing. And so now it's 2nd year, and now we got to do a whole thing of blood work again. The doctor said, Mark, in the last 5 years, you've been at a 9. What are you doing? Because you're at a 15%, and has not been in the hospital since then. And I just am so grateful for these products and these wonderful people. So if you are here today, whoever brought you truly, truly loves you, and please listen to them, because I didn't. And I wish that I did a lot sooner. Thank you so much for letting me share.
Wow, Lani, thank you so much. Oh, girl, I know, waterworks. And, you know, like I said, in the beginning of this journey, you were one of the ones that were there. And it really was your testimony and friends and families, you know, of yours that really blew my mind, because before this I was not a testimony girl. Everybody knows me, I'm the skeptical person. I don't even really care about testimonies. I want to know the science and the facts and the everything behind it. But when your family members are having these experiences where it's really changing their health, it's just wow, you know, it just makes you feel like you're doing the right thing. And I'm so happy for you, Lani, that this has changed the course of your health and your family's health. And, you know, I forgot to say
Thank you so much for not giving up on me, all of you guys.
I forgot to say in the beginning, you know, we can't claim to treat, mitigate, or cure any disease, right? We are a natural product and we're not allowed to say those things, but you know, you can connect the dots yourself. And, you know, our bodies are the miracle. Our bodies were created to heal ourselves, right? We have an immune system. You get cut, our bodies heal, right? When we are given the right tools, our bodies can really function at its optimal. And that's really what's happening here. So just thank you so much for that share. And I'm gonna turn it over to Keahi right now. And I'm so excited for our man to share. And he has a really great testimony, and another person that is just, we call him the jack of all trades, but he's probably a master of many. You know, he's the guy that can do it all. And he's such a wonderful dad. When I think of you, I just think, what an amazing father you are. So anyway, take it on, Keahi.
Hello, everybody. My name is Keahi Camara. I'm a father of 3 and a husband to my awesome wife, Jordan. So I've always been really rough on my body ever since I was a kid, always doing, you know, outdoor activities, beating the hell out of my joints. And just before our last son, I ended up having a bad injury on my knee. I blew up my knee just playing on a 6-inch wave with the kids, totally blown out. About less than a month before my wife was gonna give birth. So I'm legs up for 3 weeks. She's about to pop and she's cooking me dinner, because we have stairs in our house to our kitchen. I couldn't go up at all. I felt horrible. I'm like, oh man, like I'm supposed to be taking care of you. And took about a month where I could like actually walk and function. But since then, my knee was like not the same. I couldn't run, I couldn't jog. It was just too sore. And then maybe like 6 months after that, we started taking Protandim, taking the Tri-Synergizer. And we were thinking like, oh, you know, we're young, like we feel healthy besides my knee. Like we feel healthy, but it's always good to start the process of taking care of your body before, you know, you get to a later age and like, oh, shoot, I should have been doing this 10 years ago. So we're already on that track. Like we know we want to take care of our bodies. So we started taking the Tri-Synergizer. And only a few months after that, I was able to start jogging again, which blew my mind. Like I tested it out a few times, like, oh, it's not too sore, no, it's good. And then after maybe like 3 or 4 runs, I was like, I can actually run on this thing. I've been surfing again. And yeah, that's what really sold me. The rest of it, like I felt better. Like I feel it more now after about a year of using it. In the beginning, because like I said, we were so young, like internally, I didn't feel too much of a difference besides my knee. But looking back at it, not like just recently, we went camping on the Big Island with my family, and I haven't been hunting. I used to hunt all the time, haven't been hunting since my injury. And for the last few months, we've just been working in our office. We have a small business and haven't really been able to get out. So I'm like, I don't know how my knee's gonna be. It's like really rough lava fields and really crazy terrain, chasing goats. So I start like chasing goats. I'm like, okay, I better take it easy. I get a few hundred yards. I'm like, oh, my knee's not hurting at all. Like, okay. I look back. It's like, I think I can go some more. I ended up running like a few miles that day, and I was top shape, like better than I felt before I got the injury when I used to hunt. It's like, so that was a really big one for me recently. Yeah, so we're sold on the Tri-Synergizer. We take that religiously every day. The other product that worked really good for us was the Axial. When I was just out of high school, I had 2 really bad concussions, maybe like 2 or 3 months away from each other. So after I got the second concussion, I had short-term memory loss for like 3 months. Like I'd be in the middle of a conversation, just totally stop and not even remember what we were talking about. I thought it was gonna be like that for the rest of my life. Luckily, it kind of wore off. But ever since then, I've always had like this little fog, or like not necessarily short term, but like I'll forget things randomly like throughout the week. And ever since we started taking the Axial, my brain clarity is so clear. So we're sold on that. My son takes it. We gotta kind of regulate him because he drinks it like juice and he just keeps taking packets. I'm like, guy, one a day. But I don't know if it's because of that, but he's also on honor roll. So he has been. Yeah, it's super good. We just started taking the daily, the immune, the wellness, and my wife had strep throat maybe 2 months ago, and just we were just working a lot. We were getting maybe 2 hours of sleep every night for about a week. So her immune system kind of dropped. She got strep throat, and then we just Miley actually gave us a jar of that wellness, a daily wellness. I started feeling a tip in my throat, like, oh man, both of us can't be down right now. I take 1 cup, instantly gone. I was blowing. Instantly gone, didn't get sick at all. She started taking it, her strep throat went away really quickly. But yeah, we're sold.
Awesome.
I mean, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, Keahi, I love all of those little testimonies, all the little stuff that we kind of take for granted, or we kind of think that it's just going to be like that for the rest of our life, like, oh, my knee's bust, like forget running anymore, and all these little things that, I don't know, you just don't think it's going to help you, or you just don't think, and hearing these stories, it's like, wow, you just never know what could happen. And so I think that's pretty cool. And I think if people are kind of have like, oh, can this work for me? I don't know. We don't know. Give it a try. We don't know how it's going to work in your bodies. There's really no ill effects and a downside to this. So I just think that's really cool that you have some really awesome testimonies that's now you get to do your life like how you want to, like how you used to. So that's pretty amazing. So thank you for that.
Thank you guys.
So yay. So next is my husband, my life partner, that we're doing this journey together. And he is, like I said, one of the sweetest people I've ever known, and wonderful dad. And I'm gonna stop talking or I'm gonna cry. So Seth, you can just take it away and share a little bit about your stuff. And I know we might be a little over time right now, so if you can make it short. Okay, thanks.
Nina, thank you, and thank you for everybody else for paying attention. I will definitely try to keep it a little short. My background, I was in healthcare for 13 years, so I'm pretty knowledgeable on different items, especially orthopedics. There's a lot of knowledge in my head. I could talk to you about your knee, Keahi, see what's going on there probably. When Nina brought this idea to the house, Nina is definitely somebody that I trust. Of course, I'm married to her and I kind of have to, but she's way smarter than what I expected when I first met her, and she does her homework. She's really the boss as well, so it's like everybody in the family listens to her, but she does her homework, and so I definitely trusted her on this. And so she said, when we start taking all this stuff, just start paying attention to what's going on. And that's really the key, because you can take anything, and if you don't pay attention, you're not going to really know what's going on unless you're on medication and stuff. But as being younger and being healthier, that's just something I needed to do. For me personally, I started noticing things like I call them old man pains, just squatting down and coming back up. I lived in the mountains for 10 years and I skied hard for 10 years. And knees are our lifeline, and my knees are not in good shape. I've had surgeries, what have you. A shoulder issue that I had, I work with orthopedic surgeons. I did anyways. And I was at the point where I was going to show up at a friend's doctor's house and start doing injections in his garage and stuff on the side for fun. My shoulder was in bad shape. And this is something that, I got off of one specific exercise that I was doing, but taking this at the same time. Everything else that I was doing in the gym, I had to adjust because my shoulder was not in good shape. I took some time, and Nina finally said, "Oh, how's your shoulder doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's doing better. It's doing better." And I finally got to the point where I went back to that exercise that would hurt the most, and I'm able to do that again. In my shoulder, I kind of know what was going on, but I am thoroughly impressed on the repair work that has been happened in my shoulder. And it's not just because I skipped doing one exercise; it hurt during my entire routine. And one thing for me too is recovery. I think Nina described me as a junkie for activity or what have you. Just because you wake up in the morning when it's dark out to go exercise doesn't mean you're a junkie. But that's what I do. That's the only time I can. And the recovery, I miss my muscles being sore from exercising, and it's really impressive that that's pretty much gone. And so if you're into races and sports and what have you, or just anything, recovery time is impressive. And I also feel like I got a little bit deeper of a sleep. When I do sleep, that I go in a little bit deeper because of this. Like Keahi mentioned, Axio. I got a friend of mine at the hospital on it, and she's the one, super heavy ADD. She's the one that mentioned to me, she's like, "Seth, you don't even take this every day, do you?" I'm like, "No," because I'm kind of, I'm cost conscious, and I was letting everybody else in the family take it, and I wasn't taking it. I started taking it, and what she said is anxiety. Watch your anxiety go away. And the end of my day, when I get to my computer after I've been up since 4:30, I'd be freaking out because I got to get more stuff done, and that anxiety was going away. And it was really interesting. At the same time, Nina got into this. I was turning 40, and I started painting. I wanted to be healthier from 40 to 50 on the inside than I was from 30 to 40. I'm paying attention to Joe Rogan podcasts. I'm doing all this. I'm learning about gut health, heat shock proteins, cold shock proteins, gene expression, all of this. And it really started overlapping with everything that Nina's been telling me. And so it was really cool to hear that, from outside, from public perspective, that this is something that we need to focus on. And it's just really something, a whole another story, that I don't believe the government or insurance companies, nobody wants us to be healthy. So we have to do this on our own. Another thing, I made my parents go on it. My dad had cancer, and as soon as he was finished with his treatments, I made him go on it, made my mom go on it. And, basically they were going to have to pay for it. I was going to, and they listened, and they're on it. But that's my short version of this story. For what it's worth, I am very happy that I believe Kristen got Nina's ear, and that Nina listened, and she took a moment, just to see what this was, because like I said, Nina's going to do her research. She knows what's going on different products, but she listened, she found these products and this business for everybody in our family. It's been very beneficial. And for what it's worth to the community, all you, the ladies and the men that do this, it makes her happy, and it's a great business community, and it's really cool seeing everybody work together and be happy together. And this is it's a great avenue that Nina's goal is to be home with the kids, and she is home with the kids. But thank you very much. Hopefully that was a short version of the story. And everyone have a good day.
Aw, thank you. So sweet. Drop the mic. I'm not even going to say anything else, you guys. Just thank you all for being here. If you have any questions or if you want any more information, just get back to the person that invited you to this call. If you want to hear more about how you can maybe incorporate this in your life as a business and just share with people and invite people to calls like this, that's doing the business, you know, just inviting people to hear the information. If you can see yourself doing that, that's what it is about. But just thank you so much for your time. And I know we're over, so I'm just going to say aloha and have a beautiful day and take care. Bye.